How you going, guys? In today's video I wanted to go through some tips and tricks about installing UHF in the next gen Ford Ranger. This isn't an full installation video, the system's already installed. What I just wanted to point out is some tips that I learned on the way, just to hopefully show you guys. I couldn't find anything else online and in any other videos on YouTube, so I thought this might help a lot of you out. So in this video, we're going to start from the front and then work our way inside. We'll talk through under the bonnet for the UHF aerial install and how best to get that through. A couple of the products I've used to help mount everything inside the car where it's non-destructive, so I haven't had to cut through any of the trim or plastics or anything like that, using some handy kits from a Queensland company. So before we get started, just a couple of notes on the products that I've installed into the vehicle. I've used the XRS 330 Connect, which is the Outback pack. Comes with the shorty aerial, and then inside it has the UHF CB radio that's hidden behind the glove box compartment. And I've also got the professional grade speaker microphone that has everything in it, and that's all you need to have exposed. What you'll see at the front of the vehicle here is we've got the shorty aerial. I've got that on a bracket that's mounted underneath the bonnet. That's through a number of parts as well that I've got throughout this install from a company called Pirate Camp Co. They do some great products. It's great for the DIY person. This is a really easy install. They've got some really good videos. I'm not going to go through those details of how to install all the different brackets and everything. They've got great videos on their site, so head over there and you'll be able to check that out. But what we'll do is we'll open up the bonnet and have a look under the hood of how that's all. Over here, I've got this Strut in here. This is from Pirate Camp Co. This is their Strut kit. It also has underneath here the integrated aerial holder that just mounts in on the back side. It means when the bonnet's open, it's not interfering with the windscreen at all, and it's a nice and tidy and clean installation. So now what we'll do is I'll just go through and try and show you in some of these tight compartments underneath here exactly how everything's been installed and where I've run cables through. So the main thing to note with this installation is you will need to remove the fuse box that's here at the front, just behind the battery. I can disconnect your battery first before you're going in and doing this installation. There's a great video when the guys do the Strut kit on how to remove the top part of the fuse box and the fuses and the cradles. What you will need to do, I found, is go even further and remove the entire box itself, so each of the components stacked and laid on top of each other. Behind the fuse box, you'll come down, and at the firewall down here, you should be able to see there's a large penetration running into the firewall, and that's on the back side, on the passenger side. You'll see the cable just on your right hand side there. There's a small grommet or nipple there that I've just cut a small hole through from the internals of the car. I fed a wire through, thin wire, so it can connect onto the cable and then pull it through. It's created a really tight seal, so I haven't worried about fully sealing that up or anything like that. There's not a lot of space between that grommet and when it runs inside to the vehicle. Because it's so close to where you're going to be installing the antenna on the inside, you do end up with a lot of cable, and you'll see that as we go inside and have a look behind. Wiring loom that runs through the firewall there, it's coming into the passenger footwell, and you'll see the cable, the thin black one there, that's the aerial cable running through, and then I've just got all the excess wound up and stored in the side of the footwell here. As for the XRS 330 actual UHF radios portion, that sits in here behind the glove box. You can see it's a nice and tidy install, and that is the UHF behind dash module mount for the Ford Ranger 2022 Plus for the next gens. This one's specifically designed for the 330 and a couple other radios. They do now make some other modules or brackets that go in the back here. Really simple. Again, non-destructive, just uses a couple of bolts that are already in the vehicle here, and you mount the radio to the bracket first, install it in. Next, we'll have a look at the option that I've used to run the power. So what we'll look at now is if we follow the cable along over to here, you'll see the cable already has inbuilt fuses that come with the radio, which is fantastic. And then we'll have a look just underneath at exactly where the cables run in that I've connected in. This is a little bit tight underneath here in the footwell. You'll see on the left-hand side of the passenger footwell, you've got this kick panel in here. Now, I didn't even need to remove the entire kick panel. This is my positive wire coming from the radio, and it's running in behind the kick panel on the left-hand side of the passenger seat. I didn't remove the entire kick panel, I didn't need to. Just to remove this retaining screw just here, or retaining lug just here, to be able to get access. In behind here and attached to this wiring loom, you'll find two terminated cables. They kind of look like this. Those two cables are labelled separately. So with that retaining screw or clip now taken out, it gives you enough room to be able to work your way in behind and just get access to those wires. There's two wires in here, as I said. They're both labelled differently. There's one that's called POS Lite, as you'll see there. And then the other cable is labelled as run start. I've used the run start to go into the ignition side. All I've done is I've just crimped on some bullet connectors there, so that just pops in and out, and just put a bit of heat shrink over them, keep it all nicely and protected. And that's the easiest way to run your positive wire for your radio. For the negative, with a multimeter I tested up, and I found that this bolt through here goes into the earthing, and therefore I've just made it so it's nice and close and trade into chassis earthing on this bolt here, just taken it off and mounted it in behind with a terminal crimp. See there the positive negative terminal that are coming up. Now from that wiring, they just plug into the back of your unit. You've got the aerial cable running into the back of the unit as well, making it quite simple. And then the last cable to run is for your microphone over here coming out of the front of the unit. That runs the RJ45 cable. The kit itself for the radio comes with an extension and an adapter, which is great. So what I did is I've just got the extension cable connected in here. What I found was right at the back here, in behind the dash, I was able to sort of squeeze my hand through, right up and over the top. And there's just a bit of a hole that runs across through to the driver's side there. So what you'll see now, we're on the driver's side. That's that cable extension running through under the driver's footwell there, and it comes across. What I've done is I've run it behind this kick panel here. Okay, try and give you a bit of a wider view so you can have a look. Don't judge the floor covering. So I've just run it in behind that kick panel, and I've just got the adapter being stored just underneath here. So what we've used here is another piece by Pirate Camp Co, another bracket. This is the Handpiece mount for the Ford Everest Ranger Next Gen. I'll link some details to this down below in the descriptions to all these products. All you need to do is remove a little bit of trim here and here. This bolts into some existing bolts and stuff behind the dash, okay, and then pops out. You've got the GME handpiece holder, just the basic one that's now double-sided tape to the front of this bracket, and it's not going to go anywhere. So as you can see here, we've got a nice tidy connection. As soon as I put the auxiliaries on, okay, that all powers up, no problem whatsoever. Absolutely perfect. Radio comes on every time and is on at all times. Okay, I can use the functions if I want to silence it. I don't really ever disconnect it. It's always there and connected, which is fantastic. Okay, and it's nice and handy. As I'm driving around, I use it with the left hand, and it just drops down and sits next to my leg. Got plenty of range for it to reach towards anyone at all, myself or the passenger. Okay, and then just drop it straight back down into that mount, nice and sturdy, thanks to the Pirate Camp Co brackets there. So I really hope this video was helpful for a few of you out there. As I said, if you want me to go into a little bit more detail, I can look to do a video of pulling out that fuse box or anything like that. Just put some comments below and I can review those and have a look at what other videos you'd like. I'm by no means a qualified mechanic or electrician or auto sparky, all right, but this is a really, really simple setup. These videos that I do, I'm just a normal average guy. I just look for great products. So please give us a thumbs up. If you want to see more videos, subscribe to the channel. And that's all for this video from the Slightly Handy Dad. Cheers.